all your God representatives are supposed to have the direct link, right? That
Get Titus 1 and 16.
Decipher the words of whatever God,
right.
That maybe even in direct contact,
right?
Sexually molest,
right.
All sorts of things. They're just cooking just fine, aren't they?
Well, Spanish Inquisition.
Just fine, are they not? So where
right.
is your wrath? Your God's wrath there.
Hey, these are questions that will be answered immediately. Let's get.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music.
What's your name again?
Sean.
Sean? Yeah. What's going on, Sean? What you got? You want to say something? Yes, you got a beautiful dog right there.
I appreciate it.
What's his name?
Zelda.
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 Okay. He know his name too.
Yeah.
So what you got, Sean? What you got for me?
I don't know what you got.
What we got? Oh my goodness. Okay, we what we doing out here? You know what we doing out here, right?
I have a suspicion.
What is that suspicion?
Suspicions are kept private until verified.
Oh, there's. Oh Lord.
He says kept private.
Say that one more time.
Say that one more time.
You recited it just fine, sir.
Okay.
That's not always a bad thing.
That's not always a bad thing.
Supposed to, you know what I'm saying, examine the whole matter before you.
So once they verify, then what? That's my question.
Exactly. So let me ask you this: you believe in the Bible?
I do not.
Oh, you don't believe in the Bible?
I do not.
Do you believe there's a God?
I think our limited understandings of the situation as a whole doesn't encapsulate what could possibly be something of that level. No. So
okay. So tell me, what do you believe?
That's an excellent question. I guess the here and now.
The here and now?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. What gets you up in the morning?
Whatever birthed me?
Your mom gets you up every morning?
No, man. You know. Come on now.
That's what you said.
We're talking bigger picture. Let's keep on that.
Yeah, let's stay on that level. So what gets you up every morning?
Whatever birthed me in the first place. And
what was that?
My copulation of the human species.
Okay, so what is that then?
You tell me, sir. You're the one preaching.
Whatever power woke him up, that's what he's saying. You know, he don't want to put a label on it.
Yeah. Is that what you're saying? You don't want to put a label? And that's fine for you. And I'm not arguing with you. If that's what you believe, that's fine. I'm all for it. Go ahead.
I have a question for you. So, and the only reason I'm gonna ask this question is because we asked you if you believe in God, and you said we don't know the situation enough to deduce that there is a God, right? That's basically what you're saying. I believe, we might be able to label that as nihilism. Maybe. I don't know if you're... Okay, so maybe not. But anyway, so what I would say to that is this. You use fire, and if you go camping, you want to make a campfire, you use fire. But you trust that the fire is going to do its job. Right. You know what fire is, but you don't totally understand fire. You can't measure it.
Yes, we can.
No, you can't measure it.
Oh, yes, I can.
Okay, so right, so it's certain things that we use and experience on an everyday level that we don't totally understand, like wind and the air we breathe. We don't 100% totally understand these things. We can use science to try to continue to understand it, but in 100 years, some of the information will be different. The reason I'm bringing that out is every day you live and depend on things that you don't totally understand. So to say that I don't believe there is a God because I don't totally understand him would be inconsistent with the rest of your life.
The question was, do I believe in God? And my answer is,
All right.
in our limited understanding the situation at hand.
Okay, of reality as a whole. Okay.
Excellently put.
All right.
I think our definition of God doesn't even come close to encapsulate the experience of existence. So, to put a label on such a manifestation of, I don't know, life, pretty assumptuous. Pretty, I'm the man, leading the blind, I'm blind myself, and let's go about it.
Yeah, and I understand how you can say that once again, but it's a lot of things we don't know. It's a lot of things we don't understand, and we have to live based on assumptions. For instance, I leave my house, go to the gas station, I gotta put gas in my car. I'm assuming that the gas station's open. I'm assuming that they have gas. I'm assuming I'm not gonna get shot when I get there. I'm assuming a lot of stuff every single day. But I still live my life. I still go to the gas station. I still need to buy that pack of chips. I'm going to the store to get the pack of chips. I'm not thinking about all of that. I think the only time people bring it down to that type of argumentation is when it's coming to, is there a God? Right. That's the only time. Right. And throughout history, atheists have done this. They say, well, you know, we've heard things like Pascal's wager. I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna let you take it over. But I just thought that was an interesting point. We've been dealing with this all day. These people drive past it and making all this noise for no reason, right? So, but the only reason we even want to have this conversation is, hey, what's going on? The only reason we want to have this conversation is because a lot of our people live life like there's no God, right? And we speaking about the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They also live life like there's no God, but they go to church. They don't really believe in God, though. They don't believe that. All right, let me ask you this: if you don't drink water, what's gonna happen?
Die of dehydration.
You'll die of dehydration. If your dog does not drink water, what will happen?
Same thing.
If a tree does not get enough water and sunlight and nutrients from the earth, what's gonna happen? These are things that are set up. That's not an accident, right? So,
I don't know. You tell me, man.
No, I'm telling you, these things are not an accident. It's not an accident that Earth just happened, right? And then now we have gravity. Right. Do you believe in gravity?
Jump off that building. Let's see.
Hey, no, you jump off the building. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you understand what I'm saying? So that doesn't make no sense. So we know that there are systems in place that are not accidental. Right. They had to be set up by an intelligent mind. And you're gonna say, well, we don't have enough proof to prove that there's a God. Right. Right? Now, with that same thought in mind, I'm speaking now to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. There are laws, statutes, and commandments, just like drinking water. If you don't keep those laws, statutes, and commandments, you will die.
That's right. God.
That's the ultimate message of the Bible. It doesn't matter who comes along and tries to tell you God ain't real because we can't prove that he's real. Right. Forget that. Because you ain't stopped drinking water yet.
Okay, so question me this.
Go ahead.
All your human...
This man upset. Go ahead.
Right.
Wait. Can't hear nothing. Yeah.
You're good.
For no reason.
Your holy man being entrusted with the most vulnerable and highly praised portions of society.
I'm not understanding. I'm sorry. Can you word it a different way? Because I'm trying to follow what you're saying.
All your God representatives are supposed to have the direct link, right? That
Get Titus 1 and 16.
Decipher the words of whatever God,
right?
That maybe even in direct contact,
right?
Sexually molest,
right?
All sorts of things. They're just cooking just fine, aren't they?
Right. Now, I understand what you're saying now. What you're saying is all these so-called holy people who say that they represent God on the earth, they going around doing the most wickedness.
Exactly.
Right? Look at the Spanish Inquisition.
Just fine, are they not? So where is your wrath? Your God's wrath there?
Hey, these are questions that will be answered immediately. Let's get Titus 1 and 16.
No.
Let's go.
I need it in.
No, we're going to show you.
No, I don't want to be shown. I want to be talked to in a language that I can understand coming from a person that's right in front of me. I don't want a regurgitation.
No, it's not going to be a
of
regurgitation.
Scripture.
Well, just trust me. Walk with me. All right, this is how we do it. Just trust me. Do that. Con, this is the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 16. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. Okay, so there are people who profess to know God and profess to be the voice of God and profess to be the arm of God, right? Hey, they call the Pope the vicar of Christ.
Right.
He's supposed to be the representative of Christ on the earth.
Right.
But the Catholic Church has carried out some of the most wicked and heinous acts in the history of humanity.
That's right.
Right? And they're still on top. But our Bible is telling us that there is an allotted time.
One question. Where's this wrath?
Hold on, I'm about to show you. Right? Because wrath is reserved for a particular time. Right?
Particular time.
And that's fine. I mean, we can laugh and scoff all we want. Yeah. But wrath is reserved for a particular time.
It's always coming, gentlemen.
Let me ask this.
It's always coming.
Let me ask this. Since you are so wise, I'm going to ask you the question that the angel asked Ezra, right? Since you are so wise, and you
are... I'm wise.
No, I'm not being condescending.
Yes, you are.
Because you were saying that the wrath has not come fast enough according to your estimation. So
no. You're the one espousing some wrath that if you don't do X, Y, Z, that this wrath's going to be immediate and you're going to die.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm looking for some X, Y, Z dying.
Right. Okay, so let me ask you this question, right? If a tree, so the waters on the beach, right? The waters on the beach are told to stay at a certain spot. And they don't overrun the sand, and the sand doesn't overrun the beach, right? But sometimes the tide gets high and the water flows over. You might have a tsunami or a flood or something, the water runs over, right? Who is there to regulate that? Who is there to say, you've gone too far? It's things that are in place that are going to run its course until the appointed time, right? So, listen, you have nations of people who have been wiped out. They're extinct now. Like, the nation itself is gone. They used to be a people, now they're gone, and none of them are here.
Let's think about the earthquake and
yes,
what was that?
Right?
Where all those people died.
It's called genetic.
No. We believe that there's no end of the people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's like you have like groups of people, a whole group of people, an ethnic group of people who their whole way of life is done. It'll never come back.
That's
right? So there's a lot of variables. Now the Bible is, hold on real quick, I'm just trying to answer your question as simple as possible. The Bible is about a group of people and their culture and their God as compared to the other nations and their gods, right? And this particular group of people got a law that they were supposed to live by, and if they lived by it, their patron deity was going to be with them. And if they were not, then their deity would not be with them.
Do you believe in multiple gods or just one?
No, we believe that there's only one God. But I'm telling you the story of the Bible in the context of the other nations.
Which Bible is this?
This is the KJV Bible.
I'm not familiar.
Regular King James Bible. King James. So now I'm gonna answer your question like this.
So this is the old school hell and brimfire version.
Yeah, of course. But
I mean,
no, that's a good question. But listen, so these people have lost their heritage and have been spread to the four corners of the earth. If the Most High just come back and just start destroying everybody, he hasn't had the time to fully gather all the people that he's trying to gather. That's what we are here to do. We are here to gather those of our people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who don't know their true nationality and heritage, and to call them back to that nationality and heritage.
That's right.
Right? Now the other people, if you want to come and listen, that's fine.
That's right.
But what we're going to tell you is slightly different from what we're going to tell our people. Right? What we're going to tell our people is that Christ is coming back to save you. But let's understand what salvation is. Salvation is being saved from your enemies.
That's right.
Right? So the hellfire and brimstone that you're talking about comes at your expense.
Precept.
Right? Go ahead and get that.
Con, this is the precept. Psalms chapter 11 and verse 6. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire, and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. All right, hold on. So let this go. All right. So, in essence, the Most High has a system that must be fulfilled before the destruction can come, right? And in the Bible, we're likened to trees, right? The seed is planted, right? The tree grows. The tree goes through its course. Certain limbs are cut off. Certain limbs stay on there. Fruit grows. But then once the life cycle of that tree is done, now we can cut it down. That's where we are. That's why judgment has not swiftly come, because the life cycle of the tree of Israel is not yet ready for harvest.
That's right.
Right? The Most High got to get his fruit, man.
That's right.
He's going to send the angels, and they're going to reap the harvest of the earth. That's what the scriptures is talking about. So every parable and metaphor of the scriptures is talking about the same thing. Right? So, and that's why it says the wheat and the tares. If you have a field with wheat, you're going to have some weeds called tares that will grow up with the wheat. You're not going to destroy the whole field now to get rid of the tares, because then you lose the wheat as well.
That's right.
Right? So I'm going to let the wheat and the tares grow, and I'm going to gather the wheat at the harvest, and I'm going to burn the tares at the end.
Teach up.
You see that? So that's why the Bible is written the way it is. There's an answer for everything.
That's right.
Right? But, I mean, we're not saying you have to believe that. Because we really, I mean, honestly, we don't necessarily care. We do appreciate you coming to speak with us, but we don't necessarily care if you believe it. We don't care if anybody believes us. Because at the end of the day, let's get John 6:44 real quick. Let me show you something.
So, real quick.
Go ahead.
What's the difference between you and every other doom cult?
Okay.
Espousing the same thing with just a little bit different material.
Okay, that's a good question as well. So he's asking, what's the difference between us and any other cult that's saying, hey, come follow us, be with us, the end of the world is approaching, right? What's the difference? I'm going to tell you what the difference is.
Good question.
We actually are connecting our people to the heritage that we can prove through history, archaeology, and multiple different methods.
Yes, we've had that discussion
Right.
about your history and understanding of archaeology.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
All right. So that's one major difference. Jim Jones, who had people drinking the Kool-Aid, he wasn't saying, hey, look, let me show you this in Revelation real quick. He wasn't doing that.
Right. I make a point on that. You read my mind.
Yes, he was.
Hey, here's the thing.
Oh, yes,
Here's the thing about Jim Jones and the other cults that you were talking about that said, come, you know,
Yes,
whatever,
you
right?
haven't
Watch,
committed suicide
watch
yet.
this, watch this. The difference between us and those cults are this. Those cults want everybody to join them under their ideology. This is only for a certain group of people. The root word of culture is cults.
Facts. That's right. Facts.
We're about one group of people. Whoever, everybody else, it don't matter. That's the difference.
Right.
Hey, get that John 6:44.
It's the book of John, chapter 6. It's the book of John, chapter 6, and verse 44. No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me. Draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day.
Hey, and that's why we don't care. You don't have to believe what we saying, right? Because at the end of the day, the only people who can hear the voice of the Most High God is the people who he called to himself, man.
That's right.
Right? The scripture says you will hear a voice behind you, right? So, hey, y'all can keep it pushing.
Right.
Now, when it comes to these other nations, I don't know why he in such a rush for the judgment to come.
Right.
Hey, the Most High gonna have fun with him.
That's right.
He had a nasty spirit. What's going on, sister? How you doing?
Right. Woe to them who seek the day of the Lord.
Hey, that's right. What is it to you to seek the day of the Lord, the great and terrible day of the Lord? Right? So, Con, I'm gonna end on that.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin.